It was another time in heaven. The earth had yet to be made, and space and time was endless. An angel stared at a black canvas, awaiting his creative hand. "Go on, I believe in you." He heard his mother's tender and loving whisper in the great expansion. With buckets of empty space, he began imagining the colors, bringing them into fruition. Gold, lavender, lilac, lime. Then he saw the buckets full with those colors. Rose red, silver, and baby blue. He began to paint the black canvas with colorful clouds that sparkled with bright light. It was like a toddler finger painting in neon colors to the black void that was heaven. He began to trace the cloud stencils his mother had already provided for a project she would be working on for 7 days and 7 nights. He traced out balls of light onto the canvas. His mother had called them stars. He liked the stars and played with them whenever possible. Just like a child, his curiosity flourished with every new thing his mother made. He watched her work and would borrow her clouds, stars, and maybe a few of her knitting supplies. Once the angel grew tired, his mother made him a cloud to sleep on and knitted a silky collection of nebula dust and tucked him in. Time flew by for the angel. He was now in his adolescence and still working on his masterpiece as he had on the day of his creation. He was sewing the fabric together with threads of space. He aligned the stars to form shapes. His mother had left her prototypes laying about, and he took inspiration. There was a bull, a lion, a horse, and his favorite one, the snake. He showed his mother his latest creation. She smiled and looked at it thoroughly. She complimented his work and went back to her own. The angel was again left with his own devices. He used this time to improve his technique, but he noticed that he was running out of room. This was his worst fear. How could he ever fit it all into one single piece? Then he got an idea. He yet again borrowed his mother's things. He worked diligently, and his mother soon caught on to his restlessness. "You need to sleep, my love. You shall not do your best without rest." She pulled him away from his workspace gently and gave him another cloud to rest upon. She then knitted another silky blanket and tucked him in. At the bookshop, Crowley was getting frustrated with a painting he was trying to make. Since he was now blind to all colors of heaven, he had to really focus on his creation, as it did not come as naturally anymore. Crowley wondered what helped him make so many stars all at once. He kicked himself. "You're not the genius you used to be. Now you're struggling to paint even the most simple thing, a pineapple." "Crowley, what are you doing up so late? It's 3 a.m. You should really get some sleep, dear boy." Aziraphale's voice carried through the halls as he walked to the desk. Aziraphale's gaze went to the painting. "Still working on that pineapple?" Yeah," Crowley said tiredly, his eyes heavy with the burden of his insecurities. He could never be the artist he once was because of something that had happened so long ago. Aziraphale lit the fireplace by the softly stitched wool couch. The warm finger-like flame seemed to reach out to Crowley, trying to grab him. He would not let those flames drag him down again. "Turn it off," Crowley said. His voice was like sandpaper, rough and without mercy. "Crowley, what's..." Aziraphale nearly jumped out of his corporation as he heard the loud hiss of his demon. "I said, turn it off!" Crowley was now tearing up. As fast as he yelled, he started to cry. Like lightning bolts of crimson sorrow on a desolate beach, his tears cut through his face. He could feel the burn from 2 feet away. It hurt to look at the light from that creature that always hungered. Fire was a living being out for blood, and it takes and takes and takes until there is ash and broken remains of memories of what used to be. The smell of his own flesh burning from questions that cost him his soul. One question still branded on his heart. Why?
But brothers, sisters, why must the humans be destroyed? This is not what Mother wanted. We were made to serve them, not harm them. The angel pleaded with his older siblings. You are going against our mother's will, he cried out.
Our mother wanted perfection and nothing less. You dare question her judgment? Gabriel's violet eyes were piercing through his brother's very ethereal self. The opposing angel stood. Mother sent me to warn you of the path you've strayed into. Please, heed my warning, because you will lose. The archangel stared at their brother for what felt like eternity, before Michael spoke with a silver tongue. The words left a bitter taste in the opposition's mouth. We will pass judgment on you as we shall with Lucifer and his followers. The heresy and betrayal that you have witnessed, heard and said, has left you blind, deaf and dumb to the word of our mother. Now you shall be blind to heaven's beauty, deaf to heaven's words, and therefore shall not speak of heaven, because we will never allow a traitor to remember, ever again. Gabriel looked at Michael with surprise, and so did Uriel and all the other angels. She looked surprised herself. The angel's lungs were filled with fire. He had 2 options. Let them destroy him, or take a leap of faith. The angel saw the edge of heaven. He broke his chains and ran to the edge. Before he fell, he looked back. He saw an angel jump from the crowd to try and rush to catch him. But it was too late. His eyes burned as the sights of heaven blurred. His ears bled as he was deafened to the twinkling of the stars. His lips cracked and chapped from the burning of the wind. His wings caught fire from the atmosphere of Earth, or so he thought. Then his halo swelled and turned a bright red, buzzing with hesitation of breaking. The angel let go. His halo shattered. The halo spread out like shards of sugar glass. The burning in his lungs built up until he passed out, landing on a desolate beach of molten rock and fires of tortured souls. The fingertips of fire gently touched his skin and singed his hair. Instead of a golden strawberry blonde, it turned a fiery auburn. His smooth, pale skin turned to sandpaper scales. He opened his eyes that used to be honorable gold, and instead turned into an envious flame, dancing about his iris. 2 days before Crowley's conviction. My darling starlight, could you come here for a moment? God asked. The little angel put down his colors and sat on his mother's form. She gently tucked a few hairs from his face. I have something to ask of you. She continued with braiding his hair. Yes, Mama? He asked. In 2 days you will need to tell your siblings that they are going against me, as did Lucifer. My prodigal son did not see the reason to love the humans as I did, so I sent him to Earth to humble himself. He still has a lot to learn, and so do your siblings, my little paint dipper," she explained. "Will you come with me? I don't want to be alone," the angel asked. "All you need to do, if they do not listen, is to take a leap of faith," she reassured him. "I will be there. I will protect you. No harm will come your way as long as you continue to love as I do." She hugged him. "My sweet Raphael, saint of the stars and healer of humanity, you are my hero. I will send someone after you. He will be your guardian angel, for all heroes need help sometimes." She kissed his nose and let him play some more before tucking him into bed. She sang a lullaby to him as he drifted off to sleep. She then watched every piece of Raphael's work rotate in the sky like a conga line of light. The constellations followed each other in an eternal game of musical sky. My clever starlight. I never thought about that. She watched her son's creations all night and just enjoyed him while she had him. Aziraphale wrapped his arms around Crowley and brought him to the couch to rest. He got a knitted blanket and tucked Crowley in with a smile. "Rest, dear boy, and you will wake, having had a dream of whatever you like best." Crowley did just that. He was in a room with black walls and buckets of paint, light, clouds, and golden thread. He then started on a new masterpiece with a new constellation, the day he met Aziraphale, an angel holding a snake with the silhouette of a unicorn in the background. He named it Ophiuchus because Aziraphale had a thirst for knowledge and had turned Crowley's situation into a good thing, like a doctor turning a snake's venom into healing medicine.
How did we get here? What caused away on a lonely shore? I can see in your eyes, dear, it's hard to take for a moment more. We've got to
burn the ships, cut the ties, send a flare into the night. Say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye.
step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the heartache, yeah. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back. Don't let it arrest you. This fear of falling again. And if you need a refuge, I will be right here until the end. Oh, it's time to
Burn the ships, cut the ties, send a flare into the night. Say a prayer, turn the tide, dry your tears and wave goodbye. Step into a new day. We can rise up from the dust and walk away. We can dance upon the heartache, yeah. So light a match, leave the past, burn the ships, and don't you look back. So long to shame, walk through the sorrow, out of the fire, into tomorrow. So flush the pills, face the fear, feel the weight disappear. We're coming clean, we're born again. Our hopeful lungs can breathe again. Oh, we can breathe again. And step into a new